Hi, my name is Gibson, and I'm the co-owner and creator of the Personal Development School. This is your Daily Breakthrough video, and in this video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what dismissive avoidance really needs space for when they are trying to always sort of create and buffer out other individuals and carve out more space for themselves in their own lives. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about where this comes from and then what we can do to address it, either as the dismissive avoidant or as the friend, loved one, romantic partner of a dismissive avoidant, or even family member. So before I dive into this, please know we still have our coupon code in the description box below for 25% off our all access membership pass, which gives you access to every single course, every live webinar we do for a week, and all of our attachment coach run events, mastermind groups, group socials, all of those exciting things. So let's talk about this here. So first and foremost, I've had this discussion with many dismissive avoidants over the years, and I'm surprised I haven't made a video about this sooner, to be quite honest, because I just realized like a lot of people probably don't have this understanding at a deeper level of like where this comes from, why DAs are always trying to buffer out space and create space. And so to help you understand this, I want to give you a little bit of context. So first and foremost, you want to understand that dismissive avoidants couldn't really rely on other people to get their emotional needs met. So they learn to self-soothe, AKA they learn to rely on themselves. But they learn to rely on themselves far before they could actually properly process their emotions, because usually many of these skills are developed in childhood, these coping mechanisms, let's say, instead of skills, because that's really what they more accurately are. And and in childhood, a child doesn't have the opportunity, like, to go through tools, for example, that we teach in PDS, like about how to self-soothe, how to emotionally regulate. You don't have access to those things, let alone can you probably understand them at a really young age. So what happens instead is dismissive avoidants learn to self-soothe through whatever their creature comforts are. So that could be video games, that could be incessant television. But here's something really important that you have to understand. Anything we do that's an indirect strategy does the job more slowly and less effectively. So let's say, for example, if let's pretend I'm a dismissive avoidant, then I learned how to actually properly self soothe in my adult life, AKA learn to feel my feelings, learn to understand the feedback they're giving to me, learn to question my stories in case I'm, giving meaning to things that may not be an accurate depiction of the truth. For example, somebody didn't call me back, so I'm not good enough. I'm making who I am defined by other people's actions, things like that, that create unnecessary suffering. Then we go into, okay, we also have to understand that emotions are feedback to let us know when we have unmet needs. So let me really get clear about what my unmet needs are, and let me do something at that level and like create strategies to support myself in getting my needs met in better forms. So let's say I learned how to use my emotions, how to deal with my emotions, how to deal with circumstances in the most direct way. That's going to get me resolved and feeling clear again and better in maybe 10 minutes if I sit down and really write things out and if it's a pretty big thing, instead of trying to avoid the situation and repress my emotions through coping by binge watching television, by binge playing video games, whatever the person's creature comfort is. So because this less effectively self-soothes, okay, the television, the video games, it takes more time. So when dismissive avoidants are always trying to carve out more time, it's because they're actually just trying to get their own needs met. And a large portion of those needs, A, they don't believe they can rely on others for, because their whole childhood taught them, no, you can't. And you have to be independent. You have to kind of take care of yourself. You're emotionally neglected. So A, you don't think you can meet your needs through other people. And B, you also have already been pre-programmed to meet your needs in a really slow way. So what's that going to do? It's going to make you constantly hungering for more time to try to regulate, to get back to center, because what might take you 10 minutes to sit down with a journal after a really tough day or a situation that really triggered you, it could take a dismissive avoidant, for example, 10 hours of watching television. So what we have to understand is that sort of set point we have, the dismissive avoidant doesn't necessarily have access to in the same way. And that's why if you are the dismissive avoidant, that's your job. We see people in the school doing this all the time. We have amazing dismissive avoidants and they're like super healing and like opening up and being so vulnerable. And it's beautiful to see. And one of the biggest things that they have to go through is like, A, start healing, feel their emotions again, B, learn how to use their emotions as feedback to undo those internal challenges that are actually creating that emotional output in the first place. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I'm feeling secure. I feel like I can open up and feel vulnerable. I feel empowered by it because now I know I can do those things that then proceed to get my needs met by other people in my external world or reality. And so that saves a lot of time and energy and effort. And the absence of that causes somebody to have to carve out extra time, energy, and effort to return to that set point. So that's the work to do. And that's what's very important to understand if you're the partner or loved one of a dismissive avoidant and you see them going through that. You can understand it, not so that you can then necessarily justify it and be boundaryless and make things that aren't okay with you, like maybe a total absence of quality time in a relationship, okay. It's not there to do that for you. It's there to help you not personalize it. It's there so that you can look at that friendship, that family relationship, that romantic relationship and go, oh, it's not because I'm annoying or a burden to be around. It's because they're in this like constant state of hungering to get their time back to try to re-regulate. And so that's an important first step. And then from that, as the partner, you can communicate about needs and ask for more vulnerability and talk about these things. And then, of course, if you don't see momentum moving in a healthy way, it's up to you to make the decision to leave that relationship if you find it unhealthy. But it's really important to get that step first, because even if you just leave, but you didn't do the work to figure that out on your own as the partner, you leave the relationship with those stories that you're annoying, unworthy, unhealthy, whatever it might be that you interpret that situation through, which are those are the main ones I often hear from people in those sorts of dynamics and situations. So hopefully that really gives you a little bit of background and clarity, and understanding, both as a dismissive avoidant, as the partner of a dismissive avoidant. And let me know, because I'm really curious to hear what your attachment style is and what your self-soothing strategies are. And I want you guys to see in the comments some of the different patterns that are in there. It should be interesting to see from others. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're getting a lot of value out of this channel, and I will see you in the next video.